Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with. Today, my guest is Matt Mercier. Hey, Matt, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Kev. How are you?
I'm living the dream every day.
Boy.
Today, Matt, I want to kind of talk about some of the mistakes I've made in my previous career, being quote unquote the IT guy.
Yeah.
One of my biggest mistakes, Matt, when I worked at the bank was it took me a long time to see my IT person as a partner and not just a fireman.
Mhm.
Hey, something broke. Matt, get in immediately and fix this. That's a mistake, right?
Yeah, it sure is. There's a couple for a couple of reasons. First, and maybe foremost, there's a certain proactivity in having a partner relationship with your IT person. It's more. I love the idea, the notion of the fireman, right? I'll be stealing that from you, but being proactive and solving things before they become maybe sometimes even an end user problem is great. Secondarily, if you are consulting with your IT provider or your internal IT people and talking about here are things that we do, how can we do them better with if we slap a little tech on top of it, right? Or and sometimes technology and software can drive decisions even procedurally. Yeah, so you're right. It is a more in-depth relationship than that.
It is amazing, because it came across a client, that was making calls, and through some automation, they just saved a ton of time.
Right.
And they were like, oh my God, but again, the challenge for small business owners is we don't stay up on technology. This is how we did it because, Matt showed me how to do it, and that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come across, a IT company, and you're like, why do you do that? Because honestly, Matt, I don't know a better way. That's
Yeah. Well,
so,
then a lot of times people won't fess up to that either, right?
yeah.
They'll just say, well, that's the way we've always done it. Right? Yeah.
It's just plain and simple. The other, number two in my life was fixing stuff myself. I can do it, Matt. And a lot of times I would, and it would be like, woohoo, then I'd go out to lunch to celebrate, because I did it. And then I'd be like, okay, now I have to do my job that I just spent the last 3 hours, being the IT guy,
Right.
when I could have just called you, had you come in and fix it in 2 seconds.
The phrase that I use,
right?
the phrase that I use fully a dozen times a week, literally, is best and highest use of your time. Right? You know banking, I know computers, and never the twain shall meet. It's just the best. It's the best way to have it, simply because, as you've stated, you spend 5 hours fixing a 5-minute problem.
Yeah. I always tried to say to myself and others, Matt, how do you make money? Answer that question before you do anything, Matt. How do you make money? It's not fixing IT, that's for sure. So, and while you're doing that, you're not making any money. So not only did you spend a lot of time, you actually lost money in most cases. It just, once I could get my head to focus on that, I go to touch something like, how do you make money? Not fixing this.
Right.
That's why you have Matt on speed dial. Pull your phone out of your pocket and dial Matt. Text him,
Right.
hey, this is what's wrong.
Sure.
You see that all the time, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But and there's a whole bunch of reasons for small business people to do that. They again, they think they're saving money. They don't want to pay somebody what is ultimately a very small monthly stipend or an hourly rate for things that they think they can do. You're absolutely right. You're spot on.
So, Matt, seeing a lot of stuff in the news about ransomware and all sorts of attacks.
Yeah.
Come on, Matt. I'm running a networking group out of my house. I don't have to think about that, right?
Well, there is that school of thought, that's for sure. But these days, a lot of attacks are automated, right? So the computer that's running the attack doesn't care whether you're one guy in your house or Fidelity Investments. And frankly, sometimes a sole proprietor working out of his house is a more
easier target.
Yeah, an easier target is correct. It's if your patches aren't if your updates aren't up to date in Windows, or if your virus definitions aren't up to speed, or you're not taking proper precautions to protect your data, you're on it. That's exactly right. You are a little more susceptible, maybe.
So now, Matt, what's the process? So we have a business owner watching, they realize they're at a point where they need to bring in an outside person.
Yeah.
What's the process? How does it all start?
That's a great question.
Evaluation, how does it all work?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Give us a call, shoot us an email, go to our website, fill out the form for to get some attention, and we'll call you and set an appointment. And you're absolutely right. The first meeting is really just a discussion of how we do our business. We do this, then we do that, then we do that, and here are the things that we cover. It's as much a sales appointment as anything. And if we come to a meeting of the minds on that, I would send a tech over to do the assessment that you mentioned, and we'll take a look at the infrastructure in your business and see, where the simple stuff is to fix, where the more difficult stuff is, and we'll come back with a report for you that will lay out the short-term plan. Here's the low-hanging fruit. These are the things we can fix right away to your advantage, and bring you to a supportable state. From there, we can set up a plan for 1, 3, 5 years. Your server's this old, your workstations are this old. And we can set up a strategy for keeping the infrastructure solid. And so there's the sort of sales appointment. There's an assessment. And then there's a plan. The deliverable from the assessment is a plan that gets us started on the road to getting things right in your IT infrastructure.
So you answered my next question when we were going to talk about the plan. So that was easy.
Yeah.
How do people reach out to you?
Well, again, our website is www.acapella.com. Our telephone number is 603-647-1784. And if you go to my email address is matt@acapella.com. Acapella is spelled ACA, P as in Peter, ELLA.
Beautiful. Matt, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to jump on the show with me.
Yeah, hey, thanks for reaching out.
You just watched 3 Questions with Matt Mercier, brought to you by the New England B2B Networking Group. To learn more, visit us at newenglandb2bnetworking.com.